guys, OtakuOps here. How's it going? Just want to say Happy New Year and, all the best. I'm not the best at greetings, to be honest with you. So, yeah, just have a nice year if you can. But honestly, it's going to be a year of a lot of challenges, I think, especially internationally. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. I reviewed War and Order last year, and then I was going through the footage, right? And I realized that I didn't talk about the main problem of the game. I don't know how I did it, because it's impossible to avoid this issue. So, what I'm gonna do today in the video is gonna be a mixture basically of the old video and the new video at the end of this. So please make sure you stay tuned to the end, because I'm going to explain the most critical flaw with this game at the end. So you have to make sure to watch that. But anyway, Happy New Year once again, and enjoy the video. Yo guys, OtakuOps here. How's it going? Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. It's going to be a kind of review of a phone app. I haven't done phone apps in a while. I kind of started with that, but I kind of left it aside. And I have a very good app that mirrors the screen there to the computer, to OBS basically. So there's no lag, almost no lag anyway. And today we're going to look at War and Order. So this is a game where it's a strategy game. It's a castle building game. It's one of those. So right away, you know that it's a credit card trap. Definitely, because you're gonna use money to basically speed up buildings, etc. You don't want to be behind too much, or you can't really participate in events or stuff like that. I'm a one-player realm. What am I saying? Okay, I'm a one-realm player, so I don't have castles in other realms, but I have many castles in this realm, if that makes sense. Yeah, so well, let's start with this screen then, because I'm here already. This is the map screen. And basically, yeah, this is just, your town. You can move around. This is interesting because, yeah, how can a castle move, right? Well, you have teleporters, and that you can teleport around. There are two types of teleporters. Teleporters that are random, so you'll basically be ported anywhere in the map, really. Although I tend to notice that it tends to gravitate towards certain areas for some reason. I don't know why. And there's an elite teleporter, which is pretty expensive. And that one, you can use it to basically teleport anywhere you want. And that's basically it, actually. I mean, there's really not a lot to say here. There are certain events during the game, like right now, you can see the pony event. I really hate that event. It used to be okay, but then Camel Games, the creator of this app, completely ruined it by basically ruining the prizes you get for it and the method that you use to level up your pet. So that's useless. And actually, most events in this game are absolutely useless. They are designed for basically beginners, but once you reach, level 25 or whatever for your castle, which, I have 38, but even 25, man, these rewards suck. Like, they really blow. All right, there are other monsters on the map. Here, for example, I have an orc shaman, and, you can attack them, but it depends on your stamina. But I recommend chasing the titans, which I will try to show you in a second if it finds one. So there you go. This one is a titan, and that's kind of the highest monster in the game at the moment. Maybe they will expand in the future, but yeah, it gives the best rewards and the best packs. So yeah, and as you can see, there is an arrow going towards him. That's not an arrow from me though. That's an arrow from some other player who's basically gonna chase him and kill him. All right. So yeah. These arrows that you see on the map here and here, there's another one here, there's a kind of intersection here. These are other players moving around. They're moving towards a monster, or they're moving towards a resource tile. Resource tiles are basically like this one here. Here we have a wood yard, and they are only from levels 1 to 5. So obviously 5 is the best one you want to get. And if you go there, you can basically gather the resources. And that's gathering resources in this game, or how people call farming, is actually a very kind of important part of the game. If you don't get resources, you can't really grow your castle, okay? And there are also, I will show you just one more type of resource gathering. And for example, this one, it looks obviously bigger, and that's because it has more resources inside. But it's only limited to 5 players at a time, so you have to be kind of lucky. If you're playing in a realm which is very competitive, it's going to be very difficult to get a spot, because everybody's obviously going there, and good luck getting your spot. Okay, I'm just going to go through the at the top bar, okay, at the very top there, you will see that the first is just stamina and my power. And then it's the resources. So you have 4 types of resources in the game. You have wood, you have food, and you have stone and iron. So as you can see from my numbers, food and wood are pretty easy to get. I have like a lot. I have seriously a lot. But when it comes to stone and especially iron, it is not that easy. Obviously, you can see actually it's kind of half, right? I have stone 77 and iron is roughly half there at like 33. It's not exactly half, but almost. That's basically the ratio that you're gonna grow your stone and iron at. The stone always seems to be twice as much, so iron is hard to get, and I would recommend focusing on iron in this game. All right. At the bottom of the screen here, we have a quest menu. These are daily quests. There's also growth quest. So this is basically just, if you upgrade, let's say, your blacksmith to the next level, you're gonna get this list of rewards, which suck, by the way. Like I said, this is good for beginners, but after a certain level, this is just pocket change. It's pocket change. All right. But the daily quests, they never change. It's always the same ones. There's a bunch of quests you need to do every day to basically get the points. And if you get certain points, you can get these chests at the top there. So if I unlock the first one, it gives me this type of resources. So this is, again, this is pocket change. At my level, with my amount of resources, this is pocket change. But you have to understand something. It does accumulate. That's the thing. It might seem very small, but you know what? Over a period of 10 days or something, it's something. It's not nothing. And you want to take as much as the game gives you. That's very important. All right, so that's the quest menu. Next, we have the pack. So this is basically just your backpack. This is all the stuff, all the packs that I have, and it's ready to use. So obviously resources, I have a lot of iron packs, but actually it's not that many, right? It's only 3 million. I got 5 million here. So iron is hard in this game. I don't know, people say it's easy. I actually find it very hard to come by. So in the war tab, it's basically stuff to fight with. So you got your speed accelerators, you got your teleports, you got your shields. Shields are basically like, if you put down a shield, an enemy cannot scout or attack you. There is no skill that can pop the shield. So basically, if you use the shield, you're safe. And that's very important because every 2 weeks there are events on weekends, which we call kill events, where you're actually supposed to kill other players to get points. But the thing is, like, they're also trying to do that, and if they kill you, your troops are not coming back. Like, you lose them for good. I mean, in the frenzy, yeah, they come back, but not in the void. In the void, if you lose stuff, that's gone forever, and that's, yeah, I've been playing this app for 6 years. That would be 6 years down the drain, just in an instant. So, yeah, don't forget the shield on those event days. That's all I can say. You will be in for a very nasty surprise if you forget your shield on that day. You got your fog. Fog is just basically that people can't scout you, but they can attack you. So again, fog is kind of mostly good for beginners. Um, when you are at a certain stage of the game, like me, fog is not really useful. And then you got your attack boosts and the army expansions and stuff like that. City buff, this is just actually boosts for your city, so you can boost your, your farms, your sawmills, your iron mines, and there is another one missing actually. A stone mine is missing. I don't have any, unfortunately, to show you. There are gather bonuses, so this is when you send troops out to the tiles. They will have a speed boost. And then you got your VIP. VIP basically gives you certain boosts to production, which is important. And basically in this game, you should always be sitting on VIP. Okay, that's really the ideal. Speed up is pretty self-explanatory. These are just a bunch of speed ups for recruiting troops. Remember that I will. Okay, just bear that in mind for just a little bit later. In the other, so this is basically just a bunch of stuff here. I have some gem packs. Gems are basically the currency of the game. If you want to buy certain things, you have to use gems, but usually to get gems, you have to spend money. You don't have to, but you kind of have to in a way. So yeah, I got some XP packs, so to get experience for the Lord. I do apologize. There's a lot of noisy kids outside screaming right now. It's very annoying. Anyway, this is kind of miscellaneous stuff. This is really kind of everything else. And we go into the mail is basically, yeah, it's just your alliance mail. There are people from your alliance talk to you. To be honest with you, we use Line app, so we communicate in Line. We don't really communicate in the game, but sometimes, yeah, communicate in the game. There is a translation as well for people who come from other countries, but I believe it's just Google Translate, so it's not very good, to be honest. Okay, then we got the Alliance tab. This is basically just a kind of summary of your alliance. There's certain gifts you get if people buy packs, or if you buy packs, it gives gifts to other people. Uh, this is Alliance technology is here, so this is where you gain certain boosts to your tech, so that improves your troops. For example, right now we're doing the mage HP, and it improves your mage HP obviously by 0.5% per level. And to get those levels, by the way, it takes a while. So yeah. All right, and finally we got the Lord info, but that's just basically my information, my equipment. The equipment again, if I click on it, you can see it's basically just boosts to my army and my recruitment speed, and also my army size limit. So my army gets a little bit bigger. You can get also special stats if you use the obsidian stones, and that's pretty random actually. So if you're not satisfied with it, you can re-roll it until you find something that you're happy with. All right. Finally, we go into the city. So that's kind of the city mode, and this is where you build shit. To be honest with you, it takes a long time here. I mean, for example, if I want to upgrade my castle, right? I don't have yet the resources to do that, but in the future I will. It says at the bottom here, if I click on upgrade, right? It says 28 days. Well, yeah, and change, right? So 28 days. So the question people have here is, what does that mean? 28 days? Is it a days in game? Is it some kind of weird calendar in game or something? No. This is, I'm talking about real time days. So when it says 28 days, it literally means a month of your life is just going to go to upgrading this castle. Obviously, while it's upgrading, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to check on it. You don't have to click on it, anything like that. It's just going to, it's a timer. So it's just going to go on and on. But still, like if you want to progress in the game, just be aware that some of these things take forever. And this game, by the way, is not the worst when it comes to that. I reviewed Lord's Mobile before, and that one really takes the cake because some of the research takes like half a year of your life. I'm sorry, but that's just abuse. That should be like a crime against humanity, really. All right. So yeah, you got a bunch of buildings here. You got your barracks here. You got the hospital here. You got the rally hall here. They all have their importance, but I don't really want to cover too much because they're essentially self-explanatory. You got your wall. The wall is useless, just eats resources. By the way, you got your pet. This is something that they added. This was not existent when the game launched. This is something that they added, but again, it just gives you certain boosts during the battle, basically. And again, you can upgrade certain elements to make your army stronger. And finally here, you got your resource thing. So this, this produces your resources. To be honest with you, a lot of elite players who have I mean, okay, I have a big castle, but I'm not like super serious in this game. The people who are very serious, basically they kind of fill this out with medical halls. They want to increase the hospital capacity as much as possible, and I can see that. I can see why they do that, but for me right now, just getting resources is more important. And this building here produces materials that you can forge your weapons. Again, this takes forever. I will show you why, actually, because if you go, so this is my blacksmith, right? You go to storage. Let's say we pick something that has a lot. So, for example, this item, I don't know what it is, this one. Oh, it's a fine leather. To be honest with you, I call it Trump's hair because it really looks like Trump's, fake hair. Anyway, you have to get to this gold item, which is, at the far right here. Yeah, far right. To get there, you have to fuse your items. So for example, if I fuse the first one, right, it fused all of them. Then I fuse again the green ones. And by the way, it takes 5 items to fuse just one, okay? So it looks like I have a lot, but do I? 58, and then the blue one, you have to fuse it again. So I only need 5. And then finally, I can get 1 gold, okay? So remember, we started with 500 or something, right? It was 500, I think, in the first, the left item, right? And we ended up with only, okay, I can fuse like 1 more, okay? If I do like 5 again, I can do 1 more. So we went from 550 or something to basically 2. That's wild, man. That's wild. Anyway, so that takes forever as well. Everything in this game takes a while. This is just a merchant ship, so every day it's gonna give you stuff. You can buy it. This is just in-game currency, so you don't need to actually spend money for it. You can sell your items here. I usually sell food and wood because I have tons, and with that I buy certain things in the shop. So these items are random every day, so you have to keep checking back. And exchange, again, it's the same thing. It will give you certain deals, and if you like them, you can exchange your packs and stuff. And this This is also something that they added later. This was not present when the game launched. This is called the Star Ruins. There's not much to do here. It's basically just you're gathering from a mine. It gives you certain resources, and with that resource, you can go into this shop at the bottom, and you can buy stuff again. So again, this is just in-game stuff. You don't need to waste your money on this. Usually I get the birthstone chests. So every week you get those. I get the material chests because again, you need as much as you can. And then I get the upgraded XP packs and the stone crates and the iron crates. That's it. I know that actually I also need to get the healing as well. This is important. Okay, that is basically it. I will say that usually I played this type of game before. What I enjoy about it the most back then was the social aspect. I like to meet new people. For example, you know, my leader of the alliance is actually a guy from Ukraine, and when that whole fiasco with Ukraine started, and there was a lot of kind of information flying around there, but I'm like, okay, I know a person in Ukraine who can actually tell me what the situation is on the ground. You know, if there are power cuts or if he has to. He's not a soldier, by the way. He's just a regular civilian. But if he has to withdraw somewhere to another area to be safe, I can get this information for absolutely free. And this is because, you know, I, again, talk to people and it's great. But there's also another part of this game which I don't like. For some reason in this game, people don't talk as much as I would hope. I'm not sure why exactly, but yeah, communication could be a bit more, but for some reason people don't really talk too much to each other, and that's sad. And of course, you got your other extreme, which is basically your egomaniac narcissists who act like they're, you know, larger than life, and absolutely toxic individuals. And like, I cannot imagine being in an alliance with them. Let's just say, and that's why you have a choice here to be. You can choose your alliance. Okay, so if you're not comfortable, if certain people make you feel uncomfortable or unwelcome, you can just quit. You know, you can go to another group, which I'm sure you'll find one which is like kind of normal people. You know, but you just have to spend a bit of time on it and a bit of effort looking for the right group. But yeah, as far as the game is concerned, I would say like it's moderately fun. It's mostly kind of boring waiting, gathering resources. There's not. I know some realms have kind of fighting in the realms, but we don't have that because yeah. I mean, what's the point of killing each other when you have another realm coming later every 2 weeks or something to kill you, right? You want to be united as a realm. You don't want to be divided. So, but anyway, that's kind of personal choice there. So I would say it's moderately fun. Most of the time, you're waiting for stuff to upgrade or to build or to build troops. Um, that's basically it. The most fun parts obviously are events. There are certain events, for example, the Elite Wars are fun, I find. This is, I can't show you right now because it's not on, but it's basically like a battle between two alliances. It's a map where you have, it's kind of a tower control, if you want. Yeah, it's like who controls the more towers. Of course, you can go ahead and kill the other opponent's main castle if you can do that. But if you can't, then it's basically down to who controls the more towers. And that's fun. That's strategy there. But yeah, I would say it's not. If you're expecting some kind of fast action game, this is not it. Okay, this is not it. This is an important factor to mention about money. So obviously, people look at these apps all the time, and their first question is, okay, do I have to spend money, and how much money? That's a very good question. I don't have a definite answer for you. I know that definitely to keep going a little bit, you'll have to spend a little bit. Okay, so I would say probably between 50 to $100. But look, I've been playing this for 6 years. I don't spend much these days a lot. Like really, I don't. There are months and months I go without spending a dime. So I think in the beginning, kind of in the earlier stages, it's important to keep going, to have certain boosts and to get somewhere faster. But I think in the long run, it's not really worth investing much. If you're expecting some kind of fast-paced game that is over in a month, you'll be very, very disappointed. This is a game for the long run. This is a game that if you're serious, you have to keep going for years and years and years. It's a perseverance, man. That's a test of your perseverance and patience. You need the patience of a saint in this game for sure. If you're kind of a fast action type of player, this game is not for you. Avoid at all costs. But if you enjoy kind of the strategy, the slower pace, but building and research and stuff like that, interacting with your team members, then yeah, I recommend it. This is much better than Lords Mobile. Trust me. At least in here, you have proper teamwork. In Lords Mobile, you don't. There's no teamwork in Lords Mobile. I'm sorry. They say that, they advertises that, but there's really very minimal team effort in that game. At least here, it's properly done. You know, it's well done. But I want to talk about the main problem of the game, and that is this building right here. Now, a lot of people who play this game will recognize it immediately, and that's the Azurite mine. So if I click on it, you can see I got a few resources, just 7. But if you really click on it, if you go into details, you can see that basically over per hour, right, I get like 13 Azurite pieces. Okay, let's say 14 for the sake of generosity. But the capacity, so the capacity means that basically it fills out to that amount and then they get stuck until you clear it. So basically you have to log into the game to clear it. But the capacity is about 133, let's say 135, just to round it up a little bit. But yeah, once it reaches that 135, it's going to get stuck until you sign into the game and you clear the resources basically, and then the counter restarts, and then you can fill it up again to 133, but at a rate of only 13 per hour. Why I'm saying that is because basically after a certain level, I think after level 30, not everything, but the main structures, if you upgrade them up after 30, so like 31 onward, you have to use Azurite. It's a requirement to build the structures. And as I just explained, the production rate is pathetic. And you can see here, if I want to upgrade my castle here to level 39, maximum right now is 40. But you see that the Azurite requirement is 52,220. Okay? So actually, you can take out a calculator right now and you can calculate, you can estimate. Sorry, my voice is kind of going. You can actually estimate how long it's going to take you at a rate of 13 Azurite per hour to reach that 52,000 or whatever required to upgrade the castle, right? You can do the math, and it's going to give you, I don't know, because I didn't do the math, but it's going to give you months and months of time required to actually gather the Azurite required to upgrade the building, which is insane. So of course you ask me, well, is there any way to speed it up? There is. You can do the Azurite boost, which I can enable here. I have 12 of them right now. I'm not sure exactly how much it improves, but it makes things a little bit better. You can also win the between the realm events, but obviously that depends on your own realm. My realm honestly sucks. I mean, we tend to lose like 90% of those events, and so we don't get these boosts. That's a problem of the realm, though. And so there's another way, of course, you can get more Azurit, and that's if you go into the shop here. So yeah, you'll have to give me a second here because I never know which category it's in. I think it's in monthly specials. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, okay. Let me just start with this one. So you see, if I spend 10, it's about $10, let's say, right? It's gonna give me obviously gems, which I don't really need, but it's gonna also give me 500 Azurit, okay? Which again, 500 is not a lot. And if you buy this pack, it's gonna enable the other packs. So let's go to the last pack. And here you can see basically, okay, if I convert this, this is maybe like $90 or something, which is a lot of money. Let's be honest there. It's going to give you 2,300 Azurit, which is like not bad, but like $90, that's a lot of money to be honest with you. And especially like if you want to keep buying them, right? Let's say you buy them. Let's say you need 5 of these packs, right? That's a lot of money. That's like five multiplied by 90, which is a lot of money. Obviously, look, if you're a millionaire, and some people who play these type of games are very, very rich people, and for them, like money is not an object, so for them it's fine. I still think that they're doing harm overall because basically they're encouraging these type of companies to keep taking advantage of players, which I'm against. But yeah, you can see how these apps make money. That's how. And like I used to buy them, but they at the time they used to be much cheaper. Now the price has gone up for some reason. Obviously they will say like inflation. They will say inflation, but I call bullshit on that because like resources in the game have absolutely nothing to do with what's going on in the world. Okay, that's just a fact. So yeah, yeah, this is the main issue with this game. I obviously forgot to talk about it in the main review. I don't know why and how I could do that. But yeah, this is the absolute worst problem with this game, that you need Azurit, and basically everybody I know is waiting for Azurit to gather. It's absolutely dead time because you're doing nothing else, to be honest. I mean, yeah, you can gather resources in the meantime. You can, beef up your resources if you want, and that's fine. But to advance in the game, you really need Azurit. And right now, most people I talk to are just basically stuck, and everybody's just waiting for the Azurit, which takes, like I said, months and months to accumulate, right? So yeah, this is the main issue actually, to really avoid the game. So yeah, if you go into it, just bear that in mind. Any structure after level 30, you're gonna need Azurit to upgrade the buildings, and yeah, that's just when most people really tune out because nobody has the patience for this shit. All right, now I can say that I officially finished the review for this app. It's basically a piece of crap. I mean, it's not like the worst, but it definitely sucks. So yeah, once again, Happy New Year. Enjoy your new year, and yeah, I will see you back with more Dragon Age Origins. But I'm also going to do other apps from time to time, so just subscribe to my channel. You never know what's coming up. Even I don't know what's coming up, to be honest with you. And yeah, let's just enjoy this year. Let's have fun gaming. All right, peace.